Hi everyone, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School with a Friday update. First of all, I want to say happy Thanksgiving, which is coming up in less than a week. If I don't see you, if I don't get to say goodbye, I want to make sure I say that right away. It's been quite a fall, and I want to thank everybody for making it as meaningful and frankly, in some ways spectacular considering the circumstances as it has been. So happy Thanksgiving to those of you I won't see, and be well and be safe. So we have a lot going on as we close out. Remember, Tuesday is the last day of school before we go into a deep break. Remember, we changed the calendar in anticipation of a COVID spike or increases in cases or sort of concerns about the flu. It turned out to be a good move. So we're going into a long break. But we do have some things coming up at the end of November and December. So it's not as if we're going dormant here. So let me explain. Though our last day is Tuesday before Thanksgiving holiday, we come back to a virtual campus with something called Intercession on November 30th through December 10th. Programming starts at 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and there are all kinds of choices and classes and fun things to do with our staff. I want to point out that our staff have stepped up and stepped into this project and this process that's being led by Lexi, who normally is in our after-school programming capacity. I can't thank them enough for this. And there's some really great things that are on the schedule, right? I think there's something called 2D bug art with Stephanie for the little kids. And I know Brian B. has something called Socratic YouTube. I'm not even sure what that is. But if you look at that schedule of offerings that's in the newsletter and then see what you want to do, again, it's not required. But it is being offered. November 30th through December 10th, our staff will be there. Our beloved teachers and incredible staff will be leading these sessions. So that's something for people to enjoy. Some other things going on in December that you should know about. EQ training for staff, for some staff is going on. We had to truncate our opening meetings in order to start school early, in order to wrap up before Thanksgiving. So we'll be doing some EQ trainings with staff. You should know that. The People of Color Conference from NAIS, the POCC, is happening. And for the first time, a number of us will be attending virtually. That is going to be online. And the steering committee, myself included, will be going to the POCC this year. That should be robust and critically important and I hope really meaningful as well. So that's happening in early December too. And the leadership team, that sprint team that we formed to build our protocols and build the plan for the 2021 school year, will reconvene the first couple weeks after Thanksgiving to sort of get back into an iterative process around our program, our schedule, and sort of the next section of the calendar. I would say January through March. Like, what is that going to look like? What can we anticipate? We're always looking ahead and anticipating. And then what do we want to do? So that'll be happening as well. And then once that ends, the buildings will get sort of a once-over. So Bob, our COO, will be working the back half of December to make upgrades and enhancements to our physical campus. So we are going to get our lower school, some of the lower school building, or building number 3 in order. For example, we're hoping we're going to be able to use the kindergarten spaces, the L1 spaces, and make them much more adaptable to outdoor airflow. So there's going to be a lot of construction going on in those spaces, which should be really interesting. And also a math space that we used before COVID, Ben and Eben's classroom. We will be making that again open to the outdoors. And so we're anticipating being able to use more indoor spaces. Also, fans are being brought in, right? Big, giant fans that will be moving air around buildings 1 and 2. So we're excited about these upgrades. A lot of work's going to happen. Contractors, subcontractors, Bob will be stepping in. So as the staff phases out, Lexi and the Intercession staff phases in. As they phase out, our operations staff phases in. And then we begin in January before you know it. So there's a lot happening throughout December. I did want to take a moment to talk about our protocols again. We had a close contact situation this past week, and I just want to reiterate again about our work and how impressive it is that our staff handle these things with such speed and such care. And it really comes from our Synapse COVID-19 scenario planning, which we created months ago, and we have really gone through so many of these scenarios. And so what we did again, we anticipated this stuff months ago, and we worked with Stanford about it, or with it, I should say, as well. So that's important with their team and their researchers and those doctors. They really helped us think it through. We have a page right on this, like a contact with a positive case, and if a student or staff member has high-risk contact with a positive case, what do we do? And then if it's at Synapse, if it's a staff member, affected groups, and then the actions that have to take place. And then we even put into this guide exposure examples throughout, right? So we have example number 1. Example, Carrie and Dora are siblings at Synapse. Carrie has a play date with a friend who goes to a different school without Dora, and the playmate gets a positive test result a few days later. And then we go through what we have to do in that scenario, and then we play this out in meetings to see if it makes sense, and that is allowing us to be proactive and not reactive throughout this difficult time. I can't say enough good things about the people we work with, certainly here at Synapse, but that group that we work with at Stanford as well. And we know the researchers are top-notch. We know our tests have the highest possible sort of ratings in terms of their ability to do the job as a test. We know the lab itself is just 5-star lab, right? And so we've put a lot of effort into this, and it's paying off. I think we saw that throughout our fall as well. So I want to make sure that that everyone understands that we are doing great work because we preemptively built out the process beforehand. Okay, so remember the annual fund's going on. Thank you very much. We are moving ahead with the annual fund, which is really exciting. But if you haven't given yet, again, 100% participation is the goal, and we really appreciate it. And that's it. I'm feeling a little better, as you can see. I'm getting happy. Look, I can move my arm. It's pretty amazing. So everyone, be safe this weekend. Be happy. Keep your heads up, and we'll see you later. Okay, take care, everybody.